shoot over 9 times, get over 9 shots per game average. And, well, Karen allows the most shots per team in the RLCS on the EU. So they're going to need to figure out how to stop that mid-game and break those plays up before they occur.
Remco, no stranger to the promotion tournament. This is his 3rd time here, coming from the RLCS, but he survived both times before. Magnus getting a shot towards the net. It will be Tox who stops this and sends it downfield for Stake. Now Metsanoris will take over. Took his time though and took too much of it. Remco will try coming out now. You know, it's been feast or famine throughout Remco's entire career. When he has looked good, he has been money, but when he has not looked good, which is basically the past couple of seasons, it has been ugly. But when he gets to this point, it seems like he just flips the switch again, and we kind of see the Remco of old. Right now it's Stake trying to link up with Tox. Doesn't work out for a shot. Now Stake will have a look at this, but watch Magnus deflect it off to the side. Stake looking for Shamway here, and it is the former Espanol, now Stonkers, striking first.
First goal going to go in. Stake brings this one down straight onto the nose of Shamway, and he puts that one away clean over on the right side of the goal. Great first shot, and so far the control and speed of this game is going the way of Stonkers. The RLRS teams have been so far today really kind of sticking it to the RLCS guys as they dominate them in speed.
The exact inverse of what we saw yesterday with both RLCS squads retaining their spot in North America. Here's Cox. Around the corner, that's intercepted by Metsanoris. Now Remco after a demo in net. Remco's going to roll this one home.
Yeah, that demo just completely opens up the field here for them. Magnus able to turn back around, get a quick touch to get that ball back to Remco as well. So great touch from him. Opens an easy shot up.
Samway and Magnus combine on this kickoff. It'll be fielded by Remco as we restart. Brand new start for these two teams after they've conceded a goal each. Loose ball to be claimed by Metsanoris. You know, when Magnus and Metsanoris reunited for the first time in a handful of seasons, they'd certainly hoped for some of that magic that took them to the grand finals back in season 4. Instead, here they are hoping to get to the upper finals of the season 9 promotion tournament. Here's Remco popping one away. That relieves Magnus of his duties in net. And now Stake got a piece of this. He was looking for Tox, but deflected by Metsanoris. It has been ugly at times for Karen on the defensive end. Here's Stake, just beating Metsanoris, but Remco is there along the back wall. A lot of offense for Stonkers so far. They almost got another one, if not for Old Ironsides making the stop.
Yeah, they're getting there and getting the shots on net. They're very aggressive, still controlling the pace of this match. Unfortunately, they haven't been able to put that many away. They did get that opening goal. Haven't been able to find anything since, but as long as they can keep this pressure and they have that third man back to stop some of these quick transitional attempts out of Karen, they should eventually break through the defense of Karen.
Metsanoris had a couple opportunities, could not cash in. Now Magnus will try some way, trying to stay in net, and Stake instead is the one who makes the stop. They had Shamway beaten, but 2 defenders in net. Nobody could take one of them out. Shamway's missed this though, so Remco, soft shot on, popped up by Tox, and Stake will finish the clearance. There's a demo by Remco that doesn't amount to a whole lot. In fact, it could still turn into offense for Stonkers if Stake can get control, but he's got a battle with Remco. Remco looking for Metsanoris. That's taken away by Shamway, and it just seems like Karen wants to play at a much slower pace, and Stonkers are not willing to let them have that pace. They're trying to play much more up-tempo, trying to get right in their face, very similar to like a Pittsburgh Knights play style. Drop down for Tox. This will go back to the corner. More offense for Stonkers. All Metsanoris can do is clear this towards midfield, but they barely get across the center line before Stonkers comes back for more. That's going to be Shamway waiting on the doorstep for a rebound. And Metsonoris had to make a reflex save. Can they make another? No! Stake gives Stonkers the lead with 31 seconds to go.
It's just smothering the defense here, shot after shot. The rotation perfectly spaced out from Stonkers here as they just continue that 1, 2, 3 shot after shot. Eventually, they did find their way through, and they take the lead here with 30 seconds left on the clock.
Cox throwing one over to the corner. Stake is waiting on the weak side. Shamway on the doorstep again. Another rebound opportunity, and Shamway converts.
Great pass here from Stake as he cuts it right onto that bar off of Remco and down to Jamway. Finds the hole there right on that right side. And they may have just kind of finalized this match. At least round one.
15 seconds remain for Karen to get back in this. They have to go the length of the field and score very quickly to even have a chance at a kickoff goal to tie things up. Magnus, this is on and in with 3 to go.
There is a light at the end of the tunnel. There is a glimmer of hope remaining here for Karen in game number 1 as Magnus puts that one right on the money. You can't get any more into that upper 90 than that without that ball bouncing back out.
There is a sliver of hope. Metsonoris could not link up with Remco, though, so Magnus does all he can to keep the ball in the air. Magnus downfield. Metsonoris got to get on his horse, and he won't get there in time. The Stonkers hold on behind 2 goals from Shamway and take game 1.
Pacing completely controlled by Stonkers throughout. 12 shots to 5. They are dominating the pacing of this game. It really does look like the speed of Stonkers, where yesterday the RLCS teams clearly had a speed up advantage on the RLRS teams. It seems to be the exact opposite here in the EU side of things. They are just dominating on the offensive pressure, and they're breaking through the defenses of these RLCS squads.
And now the challenge set for Karen as they try to tie up the series. We'll head over to Neo Tokyo in a moment. After a long season like this, obviously 2 teams moving in very different directions. You've got this Stonkers side that had an outstanding season, playing a lot of tight matches, but coming through in those close matches, whereas the former TSM, Karen, going the opposite direction, coming down from the RLCS. How do they mentally get back into this?
Getting an early goal, one, is gonna always help. That's my first go-to every single time, is get a goal, get it early. That's what's gonna get you going, get some wind in your sails. The other side of this is you can have a little bit of confidence here because RCD Stonkers, has gone to game 5 or to that final match the majority of the time. They don't play consistently through series. They do eventually win them out and figure it out at the end, but they tend to go hot cold. They give up one, they win one, they give up one, they win one. So this might be a moment for them to get one under their belts, and once TSM gets going, Karen, this is going to brutalize me all day with the name changes. Once they can get something going, they might become a problem for Stonkers.
Stake will get kind of a lighthearted shot here. That's easily saved by Magnus. But coming back is Stonkers. Loose in front. Metsonoris has made a mess of things. Jamway couldn't put it through, and Magnus comes to the rescue. Remco off of Stake. So Jamway high off the backboard. Talk saved, though, by Magnus, who did just enough to stay in position.
Cox needed just a little bit more roll to towards his right side, or roll left, I guess. Needed to bring that left wheel a little forward to get that one around him. Just couldn't get it done.
Here is Cox collecting at midfield, and Metsonoris will intercept. Not a lot of offense, though, in the first minute and a half for Karen. They've struggled to get quality looks throughout the series. Metsonoris, the course, it is still an early series. Here is Tox. Got Steak waiting for a pass. That pass didn't quite get where he wanted to, so he had to go up and get it. Now Shamway against Metsanoris, and Metsanoris will easily clear it away. He's got Remco downfield, looking for a double. Steak in the way. And off to the side it goes to Shamway. Good team defense from Stonkers. Been good team defense for the most part from Karen as well, as Remco will drop one down to Metsanoris. Illustrated perfectly here. That's falling towards the net, and Tox has to flutter all the way back to save it. Steak and Magnus up for this. Magnus up a mile ahead of him. Remco trying to deflect one down to Metsanoris. Double for himself. No, and Tox will just pop this away. Tried to play keep away from Magnus, but instead he actually kind of served it up for him. Now Jamway back the other way, and Remco does have this guided gently to the corner, and Metsanoris makes another stop as well. It hasn't been too dangerous from Stonkers. They've had a couple good looks early on in this game. Since then, it has been just kind of standard run-of-the-mill offense, back and forth, waiting for someone to make a mistake, and there have been very few mistakes to capitalize on.
Yeah, there's been very few mistakes, and it's exactly that. It's basic plays. They're doing some of these soft touches on net. They're not putting any power. It's not threatening the defense of Karen in any capacity. They need to get a couple more powerful shots on net, bring the ball downfield, get some infield passes going, or just boom one from midfield as Tox just did and take the 1-0 lead with 1:32 left on the clock. Sometimes these basic throws are just going to make it down there. Sometimes you're going to catch Remco out in the corner looking at a boost, and you're going to get a freebie.
Looking for a boost pad, hoping that it would spawn, and it never did for him. Remco left without boost. If he had any at all, he probably makes that save. It is Stonkers ahead in Game 2. They scored first in Game 1 as well, but Karen did have an answer. They had a couple. Steak gonna take flight. Only Metsanoris to beat, and he beats him.
Steak with the read off the top. That ball is gonna waterfall down. Brings it back to himself. Textbook. Clean.
Yep, and when the backboard is defended like that, might as well be an open net. It is Metsanoris against Steak. As Karen needs a quick answer, they may get one from Remco. No! And Metsanoris couldn't read it coming off the post. And look at this, pitch downfield. Remco will be there for it.
I thought that one was going for a second there too. Those pinches off the post, or those hits off the post, are hard to read. Can't really fault Metsanoris for it, but they really want another look at that ball.
It's one that in seasons past it feels like they couldn't possibly miss, but here they are, the way things have gone the past couple of seasons for all three of these players. Just another mistake that they've been waiting for. Off the corner here, nobody downfield for Stonkers. Now Steak will finally give a little bit of pressure, but they're just interested in maintaining this 0 on the other side of the scoreboard. They've done a pretty good job of it. They only have 11 seconds to hold on. Remco over Jamway. He won't catch up, but Tox is there. And that will likely be the last chance for Karen. They're not going to come back in this game. The only question, will the 0 remain? And the answer seems to be yes, as the ball heads towards the ground. Remco just spinning around, and you know, Supersonic, yes, it is Easter Sunday, but these are not the eggs anybody is looking for. It's going to be a lot of zeros when you look at the bottom half of the scoreboard.
Yeah, there's quite a few. At least 6 zeros on that side, and it might have been that in the previous match as well. It just cannot get the offense going on the side of Karen. They're not getting anything going. They're really getting kind of stuck in their own half by Stonkers. They're getting a lot of Stonkers is doing a great job of getting some creative double touches just to try and keep possession of the ball stuck in the opponent's half. And Karen just hasn't been able to respond to it yet.
But remember, these are best of 7s, and we saw constantly all throughout yesterday 2-0, not an insurmountable lead at all. We've seen teams come back and turn this into a series, and this is a team full of veterans, players that, yes, they're also very familiar with this particular tournament. They've seen all sorts of score lines. They've seen all sorts of adversity. This is just another day at the office for Team Karen. They go into Game 3, however, mentally a must-win, because you're certainly not going to pull off 4 in a row coming back the other way.
No, you're not going to pull off 4 coming back the other way, but as you were saying, what we saw yesterday is a lot of the times it did go 2 games one way off the start. Another team would bring it back 2, and we got to a lot of Game 7s. Haven't seen a Game 7 yet today as Solari just kind of brutalized Endpoint. 4-0 swept them out the gate. And so far, this one appears that it would be going the same unless TSM or unless Karen can get something figured out here, and they need to figure it out now.
Metsonoris will turn to challenge this. That keeps Stonkers at bay for now. Remco up the side looking for help and said he's going to take this himself, but he's pushed it well wide. Metsonoris on the weak side. Not a whole lot to work with as Jamway will get this downfield. Remco is there, and he does roll this by Jamway, so a chance for Karen, if not for the efforts of Stake defensively.
A lot of the passes coming out of Karen so far have been easily readable passes as well, or soft touches where they're passing them off the underside of their car. There's no speed involved. It's making it really easy for Stonkers to get these reads in the midfield and just break them up. There's no threatening passes coming out of them. They need to figure out a way to speed that part of the game up.
Oh, Stake does speed things up and gets up just ahead of Remco, and Stonkers will score first for the 3rd game in a row.
I want to see more. I want a battle today. I want a game. It's just, it's hurting me in my soul. I want to see this team come alive right now with guys like Remco, Metsonoris, and Magnus. Like, just expect more based on the name, and we're just not seeing them. We're seeing a shadow of these players right now.
I think you just now echoed the sentiments of the ex-TSM fans all over, wondering when this team's going to come alive. Is there anything left for them? As their spot in the RLCS, not on the line in this match in particular, but dropping down to the lower bracket, it becomes a much tougher journey to retain their spot, especially just with the mental aspect of being swept, if that does indeed come to pass. Metsonoris over to the corner. That gets by Stake, but Shamway is there. Cox waiting as well. Nobody actually at the net, but they could not challenge Cox appropriately as they put that pretty much right on it.
I will say this so far for this match. Right now, Karen does have more shots on net. They are getting more going. They have held Stonkers so far to only the 1 shot on net. Thought that was going to be a second one there. Held them only to 1 shot on goal, which has kept this series a bit closer. This match, it's only a 1-0. But they haven't been able to figure out how to put the ball in the net. They're getting the ball down there. They're just not making any threats still.
Stake will climb the wall here, and Shamway could not get up in time for that pass. Cox will center. It is past Stake, and a chance now for Karen if they can break out. Shamway floating all the way over to the corner. Metsonoris can't get there ahead of Stake. And again, Stonkers stave off another attack. And it wasn't much of one from Karen this time. Cox to center again, and this is what we've seen all season long from the former RCD Espanyol. Everything towards the center of the field, constantly getting opportunities, shot after shot. Eventually, the defense just breaks. They've broken once here. Remco looking for an answer. This is down in front, and Metsonoris shot denied by Stake. Now Shamway back the other way. Has Magnus retreating, but he's thrown that off to the side.
Stake so far has made an argument for me for MVP of this series, as he's been everywhere. Midfield breaking up passes. He's created some passes for goals in the previous round and has a goal so far this match. He's just had a read on the ex-TSM squad since the start.
Remco looking for the read there, trying to dunk one in. maybe Karen's best opportunity so far, and it's gone by the wayside. Now with only 45 seconds left. Man advantage though. Shamway's out of the picture. 2 miss, and Stake will make an easy save on Magnus. Metzonoris whiffs entirely, and a chance again for Stonkers to get downfield and burn even more precious seconds off the clock.
Yeah, they love this right now. Stonkers has no problem, and we've seen it in the regular season. They have no problem with winning a game 1-0. They're not a team that feels that they have to chase after that second goal. They're still going to play to try and get it, but more so they're going to try and control the clock and control that lead. When they get ahead, that's when they win those series, when they get up early.
Espanol could not do it through league play, but when this ball hits down, they will be 5 minutes away, perhaps, if they can kill it, from being 1 match away from the RLCS. 3-0 is the lead.
They're looking good so far. I'm honestly impressed with how they're handling this. And maybe this is due to the expectations that I had after watching the matches yesterday, where maybe I was leaning a little heavy into the RLRS teams after watching and becoming such a fan of them throughout the season. I was expecting more of today to be similar to what we saw yesterday in some of these battles and it to be closer. And it really does feel like the EU side of the RLRS is just dominant right now in terms of handling these RLCS boys.
How funny would it be, Supersonic, for this team that it didn't matter who they played, didn't matter how good their opponent was, didn't matter how bad their opponent was, they would always seem to go the distance, go into Game 5. Now they have a chance to finish this series, a best of 7, without even getting to a 5th game against Karen.
That's a great sign for them. This is when you want that stuff to kind of piece together, and through the off season is when you want to figure those out, because you don't want to go in, if you do qualify into the RLCS, having to play game 5s every single week, because they're not going to go the same way that they did in the RLRS. You will not go through in game 5s time and time again up in the RLCS. Those teams are not going to allow you to do it. They're not going to feel the same level of pressure that rival series teams do when they get their backs against the wall. The RLCS guys have been through that. They're veterans. They're not going to react the same way.
If Stonkers win this game, we will be guaranteed to have a rival series team promoting up into the RLCS out of this tournament. Karen's got other plans as Magnus has a blistering shot stopped by Tox. And that is how Karen starts this must-win 4th game. Now they'll look for more offense. Remco can't get across midfield. Stake is there, so Remco will try to throw one across just out of the reach of Shamway. Magnus and Shamway, they combine on a challenge. Metzonoris stops Tox as well, but this will fall to Stake. And he tried to slow play, and Metzonoris was having none of it. Popped over Remco. He backflipped, missed the ball entirely. Got a demo for his efforts as well. Now Magnus left on the back wall, and he does clear this away just ahead of Shamway. Back the other way this goes, and Tox has to make a stop over towards Big Z, but it's Metzonoris who gets there first. Remco doesn't have anything to do with this play. He gets demoed yet again. Now Magnus. Double demo alongside Tox, and it is Stake who makes the stop. It is looking like kind of a new look team here for Karen. They look like they have a lot more life at the start of Game 4. Is it too little too late for them, though?
At the very least, it looks like they're trying to get to the ball a bit more. They are getting after it so far in this match. If they don't end up winning it, they're at least getting a demo, a bump, something. They are creating possible opportunities. I think if it goes another minute or two here without getting scored on, they'll be able to start piecing this together. Whoa, close one there from Remco as he drops down and takes a quick look at the net, puts it just high off the crossbar.
Almost one of those flashes of brilliance that we've seen in the previous 2 trips to the promo tourney from Remco. But almost only counts in horseshoes. This is dropped down, and Tox sends one off to the side. Clever play set up by Stonkers. Execution not quite there. And now Metzonoris just throws one away, and Shamway will bring it right back in. And I think Stonkers are very willing to play this kind of tennis-like
Oh,
back and forth game because it doesn't seem like Karen can keep up with their speed running up and down the field.
yeah, they have no problem with that at all. Stonkers, that's a play style that benefits them well, trying to do this back and forth. They have the quicker transitional goals or transitional offense from what we can see so far. Stake gonna find one off a pass from Zomway off the back wall. He's gonna put that away, and the XTSM roster right now has gotta be shaking in the boots. This is the end. This is the moment where you need to come alive. You've gotta figure something out here. Get a pass, put some blistering speed on this ball, and get it downfield.
Stake scoring his 4th goal to go with a pair of assists in this series. Stake meets up with Metsanoris. So now it'll be Magnus taking over, trying to get over Tox. But Shamway is back there. Tox still on the side. Shot just off the mark, and Remco will boom it away. Those
We'll say
players
this,
work when you have a lead, but they can't chase it down.
Yeah, the Stonkers offense is, so far for me, of all the teams that we've watched through, well, I guess Solary today as well, through the promotion tournament, the closest look to what I expect out of an RLCS level squad, and it's in those passing plays. They are always looking for them. Times when you think there's no way this guy's not going to take the shot, they'll still make a pass off the back wall or try and drop it down to somebody. They create off-speed attacks, which throws the defense for a loop.
Looked like they had a 1-2 play going with Magnus and Remco, but Remco got demo. So off the respawn, his shot saved, but only up to the ceiling, and Metsanoris hit the crossbar.
Oh, the story of the XTSM roster right now, Karen, is a tale of Karen being really, really angry at the crossbar. The manager is having none of it from Karen at the moment.
Magnus to Metsanoris, and another save by Shamway. The Stonkers defense was all out of sorts. They were running into each other, but Shamway barely got there at the corner of the goal. Another shot that's going to be high. There aren't a lot of saves being made. It's just everything off the crossbar, off the post. And if Karen couldn't score then, they may never score at this point. Metsanoris will try again. Another infield pass. That's blocked away by Stake. Karen has come alive at the tail end of this series, and they still cannot break through. Stake
It's looking like it's
through
going to end
Remco.
here.
It is indeed Shamway. Swatted away by Magnus. Last chance for Karen. Magnus downfield. Remco is there. This is still alive off the corner, but Stake is going to pound it down. And the Stonkers join Solari in the upper finals.